I guarantee you that at some point, everything's gonna go south on you.
Ready?
Now you can either accept that, or you can get to work.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Service Management in the Movies. Today we're going to take a look at The Martian, a 2015 science fiction adventure drama written by Andy Weir and directed by Ridley Scott, starring Matt Damon, Jessica Chastain, and Kristen Wiig. In this video, we're going to discuss challenges associated with remote teams and methods to ensure that teams feel supported, aligned, and part of the mission. So in this movie, astronaut Mark Watney, played by Matt Damon, is stranded on Mars. Let's take a look.
This will come as quite a shock to my crewmates, and to NASA, and to the entire world. But I'm still alive. Surprise.
So as Watney's team is on a spaceship hurtling towards Earth, the NASA team tries to support him from 150 million miles away. So communication is delayed, intermittent, and initially non-existent. This is remote work at its most challenging. So here are some key areas that from the movie The Martian that apply to leading remote teams. Number one, provide psychological safety. In this scene, NASA has discovered that Watney is still alive.
You can imagine what he's going through up there. I mean, he's 50 million miles away from home. He thinks he's totally alone. He thinks we gave up on him. I mean, what does that do to a man psychologically?
So first and foremost, leaders must be sensitive to the challenges and needs of remote teams. Throughout the ordeal, Watney stays honest about his fears, mistakes, and challenges, and NASA listens, and the crew listens, and no one shames him for his mistakes. Remote workers can feel isolated, and silence can actually mask potential issues. Leaders must actively create an environment for honest communications by listening carefully and asking sincere questions. People then need the room to say, I'm stuck, or I need help, or I'm not sure, without fear of judgment. And as resourceful as Watney is, and he's extremely resourceful, he faces a lot of challenges and makes mistakes along the way. So exercise patience and strive to become a true partner. And this is where active listening becomes really important. So takeaways: create a safe space for honesty, normalize asking for help, and keep channels open without hovering or micromanaging. Number two, encourage resourcefulness. So good service leadership is about partnering, helping to ensure that employees have or team members have what they need to succeed.
So, in the face of overwhelming odds, I'm left with only one option. I'm gonna have to science the shit out of this.
NASA can't micromanage Watney, and to be honest, this would be ineffective anyway. They literally can't talk to him most of the time. So despite this, he figures out how to make water, grow potatoes, find and use the Pathfinder to establish communications, and resolve a number of other challenges, mostly on his own. So takeaways: hire capable people that you can trust, ensure everyone's clear on the outcome, so essentially the mission, and then give them ownership over the how to achieve the outcomes. And set clear goals, not step-by-step instructions. Given a chance, most people will surpass your expectations. 3, asynchronous communication. So in a very clever setup, Watney and NASA end up using the Pathfinder to establish communications between Earth and Mars. However, due to the distance, messages between Watney and NASA end up taking 12 minutes each way. So that's nearly 24 minutes round trip to confirm each piece of information that they share. And even once a base level of communications has been established, there are other challenges that need to be resolved as well.
So here's the rub. Somehow, we have to have complex astrophysical engineering conversations using nothing but a still frame camera from 1996.
So technology today is such that communications between teams is generally reliable, but here on Earth, service teams must contend with other types of lag, such as time zone lag, work schedule lags, workflow lags, waiting for approvals for or handoffs, for example, and cognitive lags, where some level of processing, whether it's mental processing or otherwise, is required before delivering a response. So when teams can't rely on instant responses, leaders need to establish processes and set expectations between teams to ensure consistency and clarity. And this is where documentation becomes crucial. So 4, importance of documentation. Watney logs just about everything he does in video and written entries, including crop experiments, equipment failures, and improvised solutions, some of which go well, some of which not so much.
So, yeah, I blew myself up. Best guess, I forgot to account for the excess oxygen that I've been exhaling when I did my calculations.
So Mark documents his work so that NASA at some point is able to help him out and also helps ground him in the work that he's doing. A distributed team can't simply rely on hallway conversations, of course, so documentation allows teammates to stay aligned without meetings. Clear logs help establish continuity, which is especially important when transitioning between individual team members, whether it's between remote teams, between night and day shift, week and weekday shift, or any other types of remote team situations. So the takeaway here is documentation can reduce assumptions and prevent avoidable errors. 5, establish feedback loops. So no matter how carefully you plan, things are going to go bumpy. Mistakes are going to be made. The important thing is to keep learning, keep innovating, and keep improving together.
And luckily I have the greatest minds on planet Earth. Really all of the brain power on the entire planet helping me with this endeavor. And so far they've come up with, hey, why don't you drill holes in the roof of your rover and hit it as hard as you can with a rock.
So leaders should provide remote teams with structured feedback loops. Asynchronous work requires intentional feedback. So break big tasks into smaller tasks, smaller check-in friendly tasks or chunks. The takeaway here is successful remote work should resemble a cycle of try, update, improve, and then try again. 6, encourage teamwork. In this scene, the crew of the Hermes decide to take on a very risky move to save Watney.
That's more than enough space for one life, so yes.
I vote yes.
Let's go get him.
Johansson? Yes.
Even with all of the tools and technology, the real progress comes from collaboration between Watney, NASA, and the Hermes crew, and the international space community. Once they've established communications, the real breakthroughs come from leveraging everyone's unique skills and creativity, encouraging cross-team communications, and ensuring that stakeholders are aligned early on. Tools like Slack and Zoom, they definitely complement, but they don't replace good collaborative methods, habits. So takeaway here is remote teams succeed through people and process, not just through tools. Number 7, communicate the shared mission. Even though the crew and NASA are spread across millions of miles, everyone rallies around the mission. Bring Watney home.
Go!
Copy, we'll go.
Mission Control, we are go for launch.
T-minus 10, 9,
Main engine start.
8, 7, warning plans released.
About 5 seconds, Watney. Hang on.
See you in a few, Commander.
Remote teams are able to band together when they're part of a shared mission. The takeaway here is the role of a service leader is to provide the clarity, structure, and process to empower remote teams to succeed and thrive. So in conclusion, leading remote teams isn't necessarily harder. It just requires thoughtful consideration and different habits. Clear communication, documentation, trust, and consistent check-ins help remote teams stay aligned and feel supported and feel part of the mission. So here's your takeaway. Think about your team today. What's one area where your team could benefit from clear communications or stronger support? So if you enjoyed this video, you may also be interested in our episodes on reducing team stress and on leading organizational change. And if your organization is ready for a transformation, please reach out. We'd love to help. Until then, thank you for watching. And if you found this video useful, helpful, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. It really helps us out a lot. Thank you. And until we see you in the next video, have a fantastic day. Bye-bye now.